And there's the end of that music. Sorry, it took me a moment. Oh, I forgot to send out a message, didn't I? Didn't I? Didn't I? Hold on a second. Always something I forget. All right, get that taken care of. Jeez Louise. What the heck is going on? There we go. Right. Working. This is working. Okay, good. Oh, you get paranoid that everything's not working right or something's going on. Right? So all right. Well, put the word out. Hopefully people will come in and say hi. We'll see. Hopefully. Let's see. Where was that link? All right. So what's going on, peeps? No one's here. No one, just by myself. Just by myself. It works. What do you know? Okay, this is Upworthy. Living the best of humanity every day. What do we have that's smile worthy here? Pet owner shares the worst things their pet has ever done, and some have been very, very bad. How could those be bad? What's up, VGL? How you doing today? Hope you're having a good day today. If not, hope this opportunity for you to have a better day. Looking around for some good news today. You know. All right, let's see what this is. Pets are wonderful, loving, innocent creatures that add so much pure joy into our lives, the article says. They also have an unruly panache for eating things that they shouldn't be eating, find heinously bad places to go potty, and are weapons of mass destruction when it comes to shoes, fragile knickknacks, and furniture. If you've had a pet, then you have at least one story involving one of these sins, if not all three. No matter how egregious it's the act, it's pretty hard to stay mad. After all, much of the time, animal misbehavior, is merely a natural reaction to stress or boredom. Plus, one look at their sweet little faces is all it takes for anger to be subdued. Most of the time. Reddit users recently asked pet owners, what's the worst thing your pet has ever done? And boy, some critters really know how to act out. Whether it's fur babies or feathered friends or scaly companions, pets are capable of some truly horrific / hilarious antics. And we love them anyway, of course. Below are 22 of the best responses from traumatized pet owners. And their stories don't necessarily paint the best picture of their besties. It's certainly an amusing read, if not an all too relatable one. All right, let's check these out. This might be fun. This one, my dog dug up my neighbor's cable line on Super Bowl Sunday when they had a big crowd coming over. Oh, no. That would not be good. Number 2, my parrot has learned to swear and will not stop. The weirdest thing is that I don't even know how he learned to swear. Maybe he overheard the neighbors or something. Right. Nah, I don't know how he learned. I don't know how that could have happened. As a kitten, she managed to get a hold of and tear to pieces a dried flower my mother took from my grandmother's funeral as a keepsake. Literally irreplaceable. What? Oh no. Well, that's your own fault for letting the cat near it, right? My dog, number 4, my dog, then teething, chewed through and broke the beanbag chair he used to sleep on, which was filled with styrofoam pellets, each about 3 millimeters diameter. Tens of thousands of them. There is no effective way of picking them up due to their attraction to static and propensity to fly at the slightest change of the wind. The vacuum cleaner just pushed around more than it picked it up. It took 3 hours to clean up. We were finding pellets for years in random places. Yeah, teething dogs. They will tear up stuff and go after whatever they can. This number 5. I used to have a ball python. I wake up one morning and take him out of the cage because he's looking restless. I throw him on my bed and lay back down. He'd often crawl on me and curl up for warmth. On this particular occasion, he came sniffing around my face right as I yawned. When I did, a small tear came out of my eye, which he licked. A second later, he latched onto my eyebrow like it was some furry little rodent. I sat right up, holding the 4-foot snake straight off my face. He let go after a few seconds, and we didn't talk the rest of the day. Left 2 bloody holes right on my eyebrow. Jerk. That's it's kind of funny. 6. Baxter once pooped in the refrigerator and ate an entire wheel of cheese. I wasn't even mad. It was amazing. What the hell is Baxter, though? What's pooped in the refrigerator? What the hell is Baxter? And ate an entire wheel of cheese? Hey, but what is Baxter a dog, a cat, a mouse? What is Baxter? Doesn't say. My boxer, number 7, knocked over a statue of the Virgin Mary. Her head broke off, and my dog was running around with the head. Okay. Number 8, as I lay down for a much-needed nap the other day, I heard a crash in the living room. Go out to check what fresh hell. My calico had climbed a desk and knocked over a small shelf containing a case of small silver thumbtacks all over my living room. I made it about 5 steps in before I realized I was surrounded by tacks. Ugh, that would not be fun. Number 9, I filled up a cup to the brim with fruit punch and walked away to put the bottle back into the fridge. When I turned it back around, I saw my bland cat standing on the dining room table, feeling the cup with his paw. He winds up and swats it off the table. Got fruit punch everywhere. That's why you never let a cat up on a table. What's up, Leslie Monroe? How you doing today? Hope you're having a good day. Thanks for being here. Number 10, we're going over some good news, some upworthy stuff. This one's about pets. These are Reddit answers to the question of what's the worst your pet gets up to. Number 10, back in 2014, my parents owned this vase that had been passed down 4 generations to the youngest in the family. It sat on top of the cabinets, like higher than the refrigerator. Our family went on a 4-day vacation to Disney World, and we had our neighbor feed our 2 cats. On the second day of our vacation, my father gets a text saying that our vase shattered on the floor and both our cats were next to it, to where it once sat. We believe our cats were able to jump up there with the help by climbing up on our air fryer we left on the counter. Oh, wow. Cats, man, they'll cause mischief, won't they? It's that's funny. Leslie Leslie says, "I'm good, Mr. Funk. How are you? Hope you are how's you? Hope you are well. I am doing well. I got no complaints. Not that it would do me any good to complain, huh? You know, that's just it's life. Still trying to live a good life, man. You know how it is. All right. Let's get back to what we're looking at here. On at number 12. Excuse me. Ooh, let me take a little drink. All right. I'm a caffeine addict, and I admit it. I start out every day with an energy drink and pop Diet Mountain Dew all day. In college, I was very, very broken. At one point, was down to about 14 ounces left in a 2 liter of Mountain Dew poured into a cup. My cat came to check it out, wanted to see what I had, sniffed at it, and I guess the popping bubbles tickled her nose, and she sneezed directly into the surface of it. You're a caffeine addict. You got to have some caffeine. You're down to your last cup of Mountain Dew, and you're getting ready to drink it, and your cat comes and sneezes in it. How would you react to that situation? Oh, that's funny. Well, let's see. Oh, geez, I'm a tea Jenny. Got a massive, a mahusive cup of tea. Ugh. Tea, sadly enough, I never got into tea or coffee. I know. You can weep for me. It's okay. Many people have. Let's continue on. Number 13. Got a new dog and wanted them to be happy and acclimated to a new home. Gave them a pig ear to chew on. Already a fairly disgusting treat, and they happily take it. A short time later, where did the dog go? On my bed, chomping away on the pig ear, with a large pile of drool and pig ear bits, now quite possibly a permanent part of my sheets. Not the way I wanted to start off a relationship with the new dog. Silver lining, my sheets smelled like bacon for a while, even after washing them. Oh, bacon flavored, bacon smelling sheets. Might not be a bad thing. I could, some people might see that as a selling point. Hey, maybe they should start making bacon scented sheets, or like a Febreze. Febreze, it's bacon scented Febreze. I think I got something there. Bacon scented Febreze. Come on. Everybody's house can smell like bacon. Wake up all ravenous, right, Leslie? Absolutely. Wake up ravenous. Give me some of that. Oh, all right. My beta killed 3 fish in a week. Yeah, betas will do that. I've seen it. It will get territorial. All right, number 15. My dog was still a puppy and has never seen a baby bird. One night I was taking her for a walk and there was a baby bird on the ground. It was chirping and it really caught her attention, probably because it sounded like her squeaky toy. I started reaching for the bird so I could try and put it back in the nest, but my jaw jumped towards the bird. I just heard a loud squeak and silence. My dog's expression changed when she realized what she had done. The rest of the night, she was not herself. I'm sure she felt really bad. No, it wasn't a squeaky toy, apparently. Hey, Johnny, what's up? How you doing, Johnny? They should probably... They should probably rename Beta Fish to Alpha Fish. Yeah, that might be a good idea, right? That might actually work better. What's up, Johnny? How you doing? Glad you're here. We're going through some good news today. We're looking for good news, and we're at Upworthy.com. And this is a list of things that Reddit users have talked about, like the nasty pranks and dirty things that their pets have done. We're up to number 16. Here we go, number 16. We only have a few more to go. He, the dog, broke my mother's nose with his big head by jumping around too excitedly. Oh, yeah, I can kind of relate to that. The day before, I think I've told this story in the chat before. I'm sure people have heard it. The day before my daughter was born, I go out in my backyard because I hear my dog barking, like weirdly, like just roof. Not the dog I have now; it's an older dog, and it's going roof, roof, roof. This is when I was married, long time ago, like 12 years, 11. This is like how long? Fucking 24 years ago. Okay, my kid's 23, 24 now. Anyway, okay, so I go in my backyard and I can't see my dog anywhere. It's a Doberman Malamute crossbred, right? I'm looking all around and I can't see my dog anywhere. And then I look to my right and I see my dog on top of my neighbor's detached garage, like where they have the separate garages in the backyard kind of thing. On top of the roof. My Doberman Malamute on top of the roof of my neighbor's garage. First of all, I'm stunned. I'm shocked. I'm like, how did my dog get up on top of my neighbor's garage? And I later discovered, because I could see paw prints. I had a car parked in the backyard, and because of dust on the car, I could see that my dog got up on the car, got on top of the roof of the car, got on top of the brick wall that was next to the roof of the car, walked along the brick wall, changed directions, walked down another brick wall, along another brick wall to get up to a roof. For what reason, I have no idea. So there's the dog up on the roof. So I go back, I go, crap, someone had borrowed my ladder, so I didn't have a ladder to get the dog or anything. So the best I could do was got a big chair, tall chair, and I stood up on the chair next to the garage a little bit back, and I told my dog, jump, to come to me. And it did, because all my dogs listen, obey. And it jumped right at me, and I caught it and stepped back and snapped my leg. Broke my leg. Day before my daughter was born. So all of the pictures of me with my newborn daughter, I also have crutches and a broken leg. So yeah, I kind of get that last story a little bit. I totally get it. All right, let's go on. We got a few more here to go. 17. A few nights ago in the middle of the night, my monster cat brought in a live pigeon through the cat door and released it in the living room. Feathers everywhere. Yeah, that's what cats will do. Number 18. I have a Roomba. I set it to clean at 7:30 a.m. every morning because I am always out the door for work by then. My dog has just been walked. One morning, apparently, the 7 a.m. walk was not enough. My dog shit on the floor. Then, like a good little robot, my Roomba took off. I came home to poo circles all over my carpet in a dead Roomba. Oh, no. I never thought of that before. Oh, my God. I wonder if, oh, man. Do Roombas have to be trained to recognize cat and dog shit? No, that's hilarious. I just imagine coming home and seeing poop circles on your floor and just your dead Roomba full of shit. Oh my God. You'd be pissed. That's funny. Number 19. Whilst walking my friend's Dalmatian, Stripey, one summer's day in a park filled with happy picnickers and laughing children, she spotted a birthday party. A river separated the party from us, and underestimating her love of food, I kept her off the leash. I'm not sure how she even saw the birthday cake wrapped in tinfoil, but she leaped into the river before I could stop her. She tore apart the tinfoil like a savage and devoured the cake before quickly moving on to the barbecue, where she managed to eat every sausage burger and chicken leg she could see, whilst the birthday boy watched in terror. I stood awkwardly on the side of the water, shouting her name, apologizing profusely, but she only listened when she decided her meal was over, after which she swam calmly back over the water and pranced in the distance while the entire family stared me down. I'm sorry, birthday boy. I hope your day wasn't too badly ruined. That's why you don't take your dog off leash unless you can control them. That's funny. Lizzie says, they just keep going. I don't know if they have poop sensors. They should. Why, why hasn't that been a thing? You would think for like pet owners. Yeah, you would think that would make sense. Train the Roombas to recognize poop. Like, I don't know, shit smelling detectors. I don't know how you do it, but you'd think that would be like a thing. You would think. All right, number 20. One time I was running to the basement to grab an ingredient I'd forgotten to add to dinner. Like an idiot, I kept the burner and hot band going before I figured that running to the fridge in the basement would only take a minute. Instead, I tripped over my dog before reaching the first step and tumbled down into the basement. I stared up to see my dog looking down and smiling as I scrambled frantically to run back upstairs before my stupid dinner set the entire house on fire. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, maybe, no, that's not good. Wow. You made the mistake there. All right, number 21. Maybe not worst for me, but definitely for my mom. She pissed off the cat, kicking her out of the bedroom before my bed because she hates animals sleeping in her bed or next to her. Apparently, in the morning, she was running late for work, rushed to put on her shoes, and found vomit in one of them. All of her shoes and out of all of her shoes and of all the times of the day, the cat had decided to revenge puke in the one she wears to work almost every day. That would suck. I hope she discovered the puke before she put the shoes on. That would be bad. The last one, my 55-pound dog ate an entire tray of pot brownies. Ooh. Well, I bet that dog had a nice little nap, didn't it? Yeah, for sure. Whew. Oh yeah, those are funny. Those are good little stories there. That's funny. Johnny says he baked 4 loaves of sourdough today for a couple of people, waiting for them to cool before delivery. Nice. Yeah, I have to make bread tomorrow. We're out of bread. Just ran out of bread today, so I'll make just a couple of loaves of sandwich bread tomorrow in the morning. Because it's easy. It's so easy to make sandwich bread. Ugh. Anyway, yeah, so there's that. What else we got here? Oh, yeah, that's right. Here. A little better. Fix this. Hold it. Stop. That's not it. There we go. There we go. Just fixing the chroma key a little bit. Sorry about that. There we go. Okay. Rollings. So yeah, there's upward. Let's see what do we got next. 3 women, 3 MS journeys. How multiple sclerosis looks different for everyone. Bet you that's a great story. Probably a little too heavy for right now. Looks like a wonderful story. We're looking for cute and fun stories. Man list things millennials grew up with that Gen Z would be outraged by. No, that sounds like a TikTok video waiting to happen. Oh, look at that. That's cute. I always like chalk art like this. I think every city should have paid chalk artists that walk around the city and do sidewalk chalk art. Oh, why not? Every day you see something different, you know? Little piece of art to inspire you or just to brighten your day. Why not? Wouldn't that be fun? I think it would. I do. Diagnosed sociopath. Okay. A diagnosed sociopath lets people ask him anything, shutting down myths about the disorder. Uh, how is this? Okay. Maybe we'll look. Let's see. Reasons to be cheerful. Not looking for nice little stories. What's that? No. This new livestock farm is a forest, too. Hmm. Sounds like that could be interesting. Make sure it's not a 30-minute read here. Okay, good. Yeah, that's going to be a good little story. Let's see. Let's check it out. Good little drinker. All right, boys and girls. I hope you're sitting around and enjoying your day. Let's get started with a nice little story here. What do we got going on here? Let's see. On a clear morning in April, after milking his 7 cows, Tim Sauter looked over the pasture where he had just turned the animals out to graze. Like many dairy farmers, Sauter's field swayed with a variety of greenery, chicory, alfalfa, and clover. But there were also full of something typically missing on an agricultural landscape: trees, thousands of them. Between 2019 and 2021, Saunter planted 3,500 trees at Fiddle Creek Dairy, a 55-acre family farm in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania, where he and his wife raise cows to produce yogurt, cheese, and beef. Today, young willow hickory, poplar pecan, and persimmon tree studs the pastures, and on a crisp spring morning, rows of honey and black locust, burr, and cow oak were beginning to leaf out, casting shadows on the long grass below. Sauter said planting trees had been a priority before he filled his pastures with them. The farm was home to a small fruit orchard, as well as there's a word I've never seen, riparian buffers. Trees planted along the creek to prevent erosion and safeguard water quality. But the trees that his cattle now graze beneath represent a fundamental shift in his operation. The Sauters are betting the farm, as it were, on silvopasture, the ancient practice of raising animals and growing trees and pastures on the same pieces of land. Silva is forest in Latin. In a silvopasture setup, farmers carefully manage each element to benefit the other, relying on manure to fertilize trees, for example, or fallen fruit to feed the livestock, resulting in a system that's greater than the sum of its parts. It's an old idea that's gaining modern traction. Last year, the USDA awarded the Natural Conservancy and multiple partner organizations a $64 million grant to advance agroforestry, an umbrella term for agriculture practices that incorporate trees. By providing technical and financial assistance to farmers looking to make the switch, this year's Farm Bill could mean another infusion of funding as well as the expansion of existing agroforestry programs to more explicitly include silvopasture. That's interesting. I mean, why not? Why not? The USDA is doing a lot, but a lot more could be done, said Jacob Grace, communications project manager of the Savannah Institute, a nonprofit that promotes agroforestry practices. His organization is advocating the 2023 Farm Bill increases the appropriations for the National Agroforestry Center, the only government agency dedicated to the practice, from $5 million to $25 million. Grace said the center has been chronically underfunded, never receiving more than $2 million annually. Wow. They're also pushing for the establishment of regional agroforestry centers, the development of a USDA technical assistance program in agroforestry, and more grant money dedicated to helping farmers like Sauder establish a silvopasture system. In Sauder's pastures, each tree has multiple benefits, he explained. Mulberry leaving more protein than alfalfa, and the seed pods that fall off the honey locusts every autumn are packed with sugar. Those trees were chosen to supplement the animal's diet. Sauder chose other tree species with leafy canopies to protect his herd's health. Come August, there will be shade here when the cows need it. Providing shade may seem like a matter of comfort, but it can actually be one of life and death. Last summer, thousands of cattle died in Kansas after the area was rocked by historical heat and humidity. As the climate heats up, researchers think mortality events like one in Kansas will become more common. But even when cattle survive brutally hot summers, the impact of heat stress can wreak havoc on a farmer's bottom line. Grace said the farmers he works with are worried about what hotter temperatures mean for their livelihoods. When we talk to our producers about silvopasture, the first thing they're interested in is shade. Grace said they're noticing the hotter temperatures. Their cattle are uncomfortable. They're putting on weight. Cash is almost directly flowing out of the farmer's pocket when they have overheated cattle. A lot of cash, in fact. A 2022 study from Cornell University predicted the losses of cattle herd due to heat stress will total 15 to 40 billion a year by the end of the century. To avoid these losses, the authors notes that the tree livestock system can be highly effective in reducing heat stress, and Farm Bill funding could help more farmers get started. Shade is a one-way silvopasture cuts down on costs, but there are others. Some poultry farmers use the method to shield their flocks from birds of prey. Vineyards and Christmas trees farms are increasingly turning to grazing animals to mow and control weeds. But a silvopasture system can do more than simply save farmer money. It can help them diversify what they grow. Perhaps one of the oldest and most profitable examples of silvopasture is the Desha system of southern Spain, where Iberico pigs wander among towering oak trees, feasting on acorns and fertilizing the soil, resulting in some of the world's most expensive ham and a cash crop of cork. While livestock health and revenue are compelling reasons for farmers to practice silvopasture, perhaps the method's most convincing advantage is its potential as a climate solution. Project Drawdown, a nonprofit that analyzes climate solutions, ranks silvopasture as the 11th most effective strategy for combating climate change, well ahead of solar panels, recycling, and electric cars, finding that pastures with trees sequesters 5 to 10 miles as much carbon as similarly sized by treeless pastures. The perennial roots of a silvopasture system can help stabilize the soil, preventing the erosion as well as the flooding that's becoming more common with heavier rains. Additionally, a well-managed silvopasture operations can reduce wildfire loads, thanks to carefully spaced and pruned trees as well as grazing animals that control the shrubbery understory and increase biodiversity. What's more, when livestock get to eat the forage that's right in front of them, the gas-guzzling farming equipment and trucks typically used to get food to feedouts can stay in park. Cutting back on harvesting and transporting means a significant reduction in greenhouse gases, Grace explains. Makes sense. According to Grace, large swaths of the American Midwest used to be covered by a natural silvopasture of sorts, an oak savanna ecosystem where grazing animals like bison dined on prairie fruits and nut trees. Many indigenous cultures embraced and benefited from this form of land management until European settlers got to work deforesting the region, eventually building farms that worked more like factories. This emphasis on efficiency led to a widespread monoculture and a knowing and annual cropping system where Gray said, for a good chunk of the year, not much is happening. Okay, almost the end. I'm going, wow, is this article longer than I thought? Today, only about 1.5% of farmers in the U.S., approximately 31,000, practice any form of agroforestry, including silvopasture. A 2017 USDA survey revealed, but as summer gets hotter and climate predictions are more dire, interest in the practice is booming. Matthew Smith, research program led at the USDA's National Agroforestry Center, said the demand for silvopasture knowledge and information is higher than anyone can provide. That's because silvopasture is more complicated than turning livestock loose in the woods. It requires choosing the right trees and forage for the local climate and constantly moving livestock from one place to another. If folks are interested in silvopasture, they really should have expertise in rotational grazing beforehand, which is hard to learn, Smith said. Things can go wrong quickly when all your crops are in the same place. Livestock left in one spot on too long can damage trees, for example. And plants grown too close together can outcompete each other for light and nutrients. There are other challenges. For one thing, silvopasture system requires a large area of land and more hours of labor, at least at first, to maintain. Additionally, it takes trees many years to grow and begin to provide meaningful benefits. But by far, the greatest obstacle the most farmers who want to practice silvopasture is the high price of purchasing, planting, and maintaining trees. The vast majority of silvopasture operations rely on grants and cost-sharing programs from organizations like the Natural Resource Conservation Service and the USDA programs that advocate, like Grace said, badly need the boost in funding and staff that this year's Farm Bill could provide. Grace said that a handful of existing agroforestry programs, such as Conservation Reserve Program and the Environmental Quality Incentive Programs, are vague in the wording and need to be tweaked to be more explicitly fund silvopasture projects and provide additional cost-sharing opportunities to farmers. Savannah Institute Ally and Climate NGO Carbonate 180 has recommended that the 2023 Farm Bill increase federal costs to share to 75% of agroforestry practices to help defray upfront costs and ensure farm can access high-quality, regional, appropriate trees and shrubs. In the meantime, funding remains a major barrier to farmers hoping to pursue silvopasture, said Austin Unruh, owner of Tree of Grazers, who helped Tim Sauter secure money from the Pennsylvania office and NRCS. Unruh, whose business has helped about 25 farms implement silvopasture in the last 3 years, said helping farmers pay for them has been frustrating. It's a different source of funding each time, different hoops to jump through. For Sauter, the financial resistance from the state was paramount. He said that without it, the trees in his pasture simply wouldn't be there, at least not for the next 20 years or so. He admits the new system has been a work up front, but that he expected to pay off in the form of healthier pastures, soils, and cows, and hopefully his land's ability to support more of them. And yet, it's working in tandem with nature that inspires Sauter the most. Running his farm with the health of the ecosystem top of his mind, he said, is like making up for the mistakes of his ancestors. Mennonite immigrants who displaced indigenous people and bent the land to their will. I'm reimagining what would have happened if they had arrived here and said instead, what's the best way to live in this place? That's by Ashley Stimpson. A little longer than I expected when I read that. just a little bit longer. That's interesting, though. I mean, it makes sense. I can see what they're talking about. You know, it makes sense. You know, using the trees for shade, for better soil. I can see the cows and what have you. I mean, why not? You know, I'm all for anything that increases more trees. There is something I heard the other day, which is interesting. I don't know if I heard this not the other day. I heard this a while back, and I always thought it was interesting. I don't know if it's actually true or not. Right? So, the idea is that when you're given oxygen, Like large amounts of oxygen, it can make you feel euphoric. It can make you feel good. It does. Large amounts of oxygen in the body increases dopamine levels and all this other stuff. And it just makes you feel more euphoric and makes you feel good. So the idea, someone said, was if, how many trees, have we lost, on the planet over, the last couple of 100 years, especially. And how has that affected the oxygen levels on the planet? Maybe the reason a lot of people in the world are feeling not as happy or a little more stressed because we're slowly sucking all the oxygen out of the planet. I don't know if that's true, but it's interesting to think about it, isn't it? I gotta go refill my water. I'm gonna be right back. Stay right there. Yeah, hello. And we are back. All right, let's. Right, Leslie. Leslie says the other side of it is the trees offsetting CO2 as well. Right. Yeah, yeah. That's the idea, I mean, I don't see a lot of bad reasons, if they can learn, the farmers can learn to do it and learn to do it right. Sounds like it would be beneficial to me. That's a good story. It gives you a little hope for the planet, that people are coming up with these kind of ideas. Hopefully we'll get more people out there like that. They'll come up with these ideas and, do what we can to help the planet. We help the planet. Yay. I don't know. Yeah. Interesting story. That took me a long time to read. It felt like it was a lot longer than I thought it was. My first glance. Like, oh boy. Didn't I have? I think I had. Hold on, let me check. Here, oh, I know. I know. Let's try something. Hold on a second. Oh man, why did I think of this before? Wait a second. So let's see. Let's take this article here from the Fixer. Every whiskey distillery in Scotland vows to go carbon neutral. That's cool. Okay. So let's get the whole article here. Let's copy it. Hold on a second. Okay. I'm gonna cheat here. I'm going to chat GBT. I'm gonna ask it to summarize the article. Let's see what it gives me. Right. Yeah, it did. Again. Wow. Okay, so here's the summary for this article here. Reasons to be cheerful. About every whiskey distiller in Scotland vows to go carbon neutral. I asked it to summarize it. Just remember, ChatGPT isn't always accurate. Oh, yeah, I know. But now, actually, hold on. I gave it. Wait, is it? I think it's almost longer than the actual article now that I'm looking at it. I think it's. I think the summary I made it give me is longer than the actual article itself. Okay, hold on a second. I'm just going to read the article. Scotch whiskey is the UK's biggest food and drink export. Sales topped 7.5 billion last year, but these profits come from a hefty cost to the climate as energy-intensive distilleries vent CO2 directly into the atmosphere and ship their product to virtually every corner of the world. Over the past several years, however, the industry has made significant progress reducing its carbon footprint. Since 2009, it has cut emissions by more than half, and today runs on 39% renewable energy. Now, these efforts have culminated in a pledge signed by all 140 distilleries in Scotland to become carbon neutral by 2040, a full decade earlier than the UK as a whole. Through meeting that goal will be a challenge. The distilleries are already working towards it, sourcing local barley and declining to flavor their products by burning peat, one of the world's best sources of carbon sequestration. The goal of going green is a matter of economics as much as ideology. If the industry doesn't change, we will lose younger generations, said one distiller. That's interesting. That's good, right? I mean, that that seems like a good thing to me. You know, more places should do that, right? What is what is what is PMSL, Leslie? PMSL? Psml. Psml. Can't hit me with those. I don't know what that means. Oh, oh, that was funny. To say the least. Excuse me. Well, there was some fun stories, some good news there, right? Uh, oh Jesus, I need to fix this one too. Hold on. There we go. Get a little cleaner. Oh, I didn't notice this thing back over here. There we go. Now I'm all fuzzy. Oh. Well, pissing myself laughing. You need Urban Dictionary. Look Q&A on internet slang. Oh, my son. Yeah, I should have known that. I've heard that before. It just wasn't coming to my mind. That's funny. That's great. Oh. Yeah, I can't believe I actually made the article longer by putting it into ChatGPT. Like now I'm wondering like oh, you know what I did? Because I copied more than just the. Oh, okay. So, like, okay, we read the article. So, it actually gave it to me in one paragraph because I copied like 3 different stories. I see what happened. Okay, that's why. So, like, listen, here's what it gave me. Scotch whiskey, the largest food and drink export of the UK, generated sales exceeding 7.5 billion in the previous year. However, the environmental impact of the industry has been significant, with distilleries emitting CO2 and shipping their product globally. Despite this, the industry has made substantial progress in reducing its carbon footprint, cutting emissions by over half since 2009 and currently relying on 39% renewable energy. All 140 distilleries in Scotland have now pledged to achieve carbon neutrality by 2040, a decade ahead of the UK's overall target. The industry recognizes that embracing sustainability is not only an ideological choice, but also crucial for attracting younger generations. Oh, that's a fucking accurate. That's an accurate. Yeah, that's absolutely accurate for that part that I read. Right. Yeah, that was pretty good. That was a good summary. Yeah, Johnny asked JBD. That's what I did. Yeah, actually, that was 100% accurate of a summary. That's what I should do. I should find these big long stories, have them summarized, and then read the summaries. That's what I should do. Wait a second, didn't I? Hold on. Wait a second. I'm stupid. Guess not. Didn't I already recent? Here it is. Oh yeah. Okay. How high was I at the time? I actually did this. I tried this. I thought of this before. As I was saying it to you, I thought to myself, hey, didn't I think about this earlier? I had forgotten that I had thought about this before. Oh man, I can't believe. Sometimes. Oh, that's funny. All right, so here's some interesting stories for you. Listen to these. These are 3 stories I had summarized. I had verified these, and these are accurate. I had read these, and then I had them summarized. There were 3 stories, interesting stories. I should do this more often. I started to do this and totally forgot that I did it all. Can you paste link into GPT and ask it to summarize? I don't know. I just copy and pasted the whole thing before. So here's an article. Let's see. This was a group in Mississippi has implemented a successful solution to address the issue of derelict crab traps, which pose a threat to wildlife and disrupt fishing activities. They offer shrimpers a $5 reward for collecting and recycling these abandoned traps. Over a period of 3 years, nearly 3,000 crab traps have been removed from Mississippi waters through this program. The traps are tagged, and those still in good condition are returned to their owners, while the broken down ones are recycled. This initiative has resulted in cleaner water, safer wildlife, and a reduction in the number of traps encountered by shrimpers. The program's success has caught the attention of other communities and organizations inspiring similar efforts in different regions. That sounds like such an easy thing. The Mississippi program stands out as a pioneer in the field of ghost fishing and marine debris management by partnering with the fishing industry and using the incentive program to gather data on trap numbers and locations. The initiative has effectively removed marine debris while also engaging the fishing community. The program's impact extends beyond derelict crab traps, as they are now expanding their efforts to incentivize shrimpers to collect other types of litter found in the Gulf. These additional waste items range from household appliances to plastic bags, and the program aims to remove them from their marine environment. The success and uniqueness of this initiative have garnered attention and interest from other regions looking to develop similar programs to combat marine debris. How has no one ever thought of that? That seems simple. Like they're paying people to find the marine traps and then return them. That wouldn't. What isn't that? What? Like what? Seems like such an easy, like no brainer, right? Am I crazy here? That sounds like a no brainer. Like, how is that not the consideration? It's good, Leslie says, but I hate that money needs to be the incentive. Well, that's the world we live in, right? The world we live in. Hate to say it. The sad story that is the world that we live in. Didn't mean to do that. Oops. Hold on a second. Oh, did that. Okay. I'm back on this one anyway. All right, what was the other story that I got? The other one was, say, Leslie says, anyway, got to go, dude. Thanks for the chat. Stay awesome. You too, Leslie. Thanks for stopping by. Have a great day. Stay awesome yourself. And there goes Leslie. Thanks for stopping, Leslie. Stretch, stretch, stretch. What's been going on with you, John? Got your rugrat running around. That was a cute picture you sent the other day. Very cute. Well, I gotta fix this. This is bugging me. There we go. Up a little. There we go. Ugh. Ugh, stretch. Stretch. Johnny says he's trying to push that bread. Made a post with video instead of photo. See if that helps. Yeah. Well, the thing is, you want to get that return business going, not people that just buy a loaf on the offset. You want them, to keep coming back for more. You get a lot of return business, Johnny, like people catching back up with you to try to get more. Cooling that bread. Got to shower and deliver some bread soon. Well, I mean, yeah, it's something to do, right? Sounds pretty exciting to me. More than I got to do. Like you said, just tomorrow I'm making a couple of loaves. Or I'm going to show, I'm going to teach Tam how to make loaves of bread. That's what I'm going to do tomorrow. Is teach either Tam. Yeah, I'm going to teach Tam how to make loaves of bread. Just like sandwich bread. Because when I'm, after the surgery, I won't be able to bake anything for a couple of months, probably. I don't know however long it takes for me to be able to, stand there long enough to do everything. I don't know. So she's got to learn to do it. I'll walk her through it, the steps. It says, I have a few returning customers. See, that's good. That's good. You know, you got to encourage those returning customers to, tell their friends and stuff. Just figure out an incentive for encouraging people to buy bread. Johnny says, that's cool. I'd like to pass on my skills as well, so I can rely on help so I'm not stuck. Yeah. Well, sandwich bread's really easy to make. I mean, it takes I can have like sandwich bread made in 4.5 hours. Not sourdough. It's just straight yeast, instant yeast. Still a hell of a lot better tasting and better than you'll find in the grocery store. Like the bread I make, the simple bread I make tastes like high-end bread that you would buy at the grocery store. Better than high-end bread. Like the expensive bread that you buy in the mine's better. My sandwich bread is better. My plain white sandwich bread tastes better. I'll put it up against any store-bought bread out there. Hands down better. Johnny says, I need to deliver, but waiting to shape the next batch. Yeah, you gotta figure out what's up, Wolf? Hello there. You gotta figure out a schedule for it all, But I imagine it's probably hard to develop any kind of schedule because you don't have a consistent amount of customers every day. If you had a consistent amount of customers every day that you were delivering bread to, you could develop a schedule, a baking and then delivering schedule. Yeah. I figured. I got a last minute order that I'm trying to fulfill, Johnny says. Yeah, that makes sense, Johnny. That makes sense. Anton says, hi. Hi, Anton. I hope you're having a good day today. Thanks for joining us. We're just chilling, talking about Johnny's baking career that he's trying to get off the ground. Good, Anton. How are you doing today? What part of the world are you joining us from? Are you having a good day? It's late where you are. Okay, so you're on the other side of the world, probably. Oh, I baked dough that didn't refrigerate over night a couple of days ago. Came out fine. Well, yeah, you don't have to overnight. I mean, I do, but it'll come out fine. But your flavor will be different. That's the only thing. So, what happens when you do an overnight rise is it slows down the acid development in the bread. And what you'll end up with is you're supposed to end up with a more kind of, it's usually described as a milkier taste to it. You won't get more of a sour. You'll get more of that kind of like softer, milkier taste, even though, you're not using milk in it. It's just, that's how it's usually described. A little more richer of a flavor. In fact, they say that the longer you leave it in the refrigerator, the less sour it will be. Right. So it has to do with the pH levels and all that. So yeah, you don't have to put it in for an overnight rise. It just adds to the flavor. That's it. It just adds more to the flavor of the bread. And but you don't have to. I mean, it depends on what you're going for. It all depends what you're going for. Less sour, really? Johnny says, less sour, really? So people, they want more sour. I should not refrigerate. If I understand the science correctly, you may want to verify this yourself. Feel free to. but from what I understand, yeah, that's basically the truth. That what an overnight that if you want more of an acidic flavor, you have to really prime your mother dough before, and you have to use it like right before it collapses. Like when your levain is doing its first rise, you have to use that right before it collapses. That's supposed to be at its highest peak. Then they say, I think you can refrigerate it up to, I think it's 5 or 6 hours. I'm bad at remembering exact numbers like this to give it a little bit more of a flavor and not take away any of the acidity, because you lose the acidity in the overnight. Try it yourself, Johnny. Take a loaf. One of these days, make a loaf and try it without the overnight and see what you get. You'll notice a difference in the flavor. I guarantee you'll notice a different flavor. I mean, if that's how I understand it. I'm not an expert, but that's how I've understood it. Has to do with the there's the I can't think of the name for it, but yeah. Johnny says when the starter is fed but collapsed and a bit hungry with the dough ferment more quickly. Yeah, basically. It will a little bit. I mean, that's the thing is if you need your okay. Yeah, see the amount that you're using in your starter the amount of starter that you're using in your dough, it determines how fast it'll rise. So the least amount of starter that you have, the longer it's going to take to rise. The more starter you have, the quicker it rises. But the quicker rise also involves its own issues. You don't want too much because you'll have too much of like a yeasty kind of flavor. And it'll also too much starter can actually make it like a little more tough, like a little tougher from what I understand. So they say from what I'm so bad at numbers. I think it's that you want your like you have to figure out like the balance of your levain. How big, if you want it to go faster, you can make your levain a little bit bigger, and that will increase how fast it goes. And if you use your starter for your levain at the point right before collapse where it's the strongest, that's supposed to make your levain stronger, and it's eating it, eating. And if you use that before it collapses, right, in your daughter, that's supposed to be the strongest. That's when your yeast is supposed to be the strongest, and you will get a quicker time. Try it yourself. Just like I would say is increase your your starter next time just a little bit, maybe 50%. I don't know how much you're using, what percentage you're using for your starter. And see if you notice a difference in the time. You don't have to make a big batch. You're only going for think about it for a second. You don't have to. You can make a small batch, like just one loaf kind of thing. I'll experiment one day and let you know. All right, good. You do that, man. Yeah. Welcome to Bread Talk on with Mr. Funky Dude. I think we lost some people. I think was it Anton? I'm from Sweden. Welcome, Anton from Sweden. Make bread, Anton. You're still there. Lost you when we're rambling about bread. don't blame you. I understand. Did you know that there's a story about a woman that accidentally flushed her ring down the toilet? She got it back 13 years later. Mary Strand lost her diamond anniversary ring down the drain in her bathroom over a decade ago, believing she would never see it again. Her husband, Dave, who happens to own a drain and sewer company, tried everything to retrieve the ring but was unsuccessful. Years later, a diamond ring was discovered at a waste treatment plant by workers cleaning a machine, and the story circulated on social media. After comparing the ring to submitted photos, it was confirmed to be Mary's ring, and she finally reunited with her precious possession. This incredible tale of coincidence and perseverance resulted in a long-lost ring finding its way back to its rightful owner. Mary's ring was returned after being examined by jewelers and matching the submitted photos. The story serves as a reminder of properly secure valuable items and avoid mishaps near drains, and it leaves one hoping that Mary's ring has been appropriately sized, sanitized, and will avoid any further adventures down the drain in the future. 13 years later, Jesus. You use a 20% starter. That's actually normal. Yeah, that's good. That's a good amount. Then what I would say is try to use your starter right before it collapses, when it's at its peak. Try that. See if you notice, because it's not just how much starter you're using, it's also how active the yeast in that starter is, right? Me, I don't worry about that because I got time, and I actually like to use. See, here's the thing: the longer you let it ferment, the more acidity builds. So that's the hard thing here, Johnny, is that if you use less yeast, right, or if you use less starter, like if you put it to like 10%, let's say you chopped it in half, right, to 10%, it would take twice as long to ferment and to rise. It would do it. It would take twice as long, but it would have more flavor, right? That's the trade-off. Every time when bread that you trade time, you're always trading time for flavor, right? That's the thing that you have to keep in mind. Every time you trade something for time, every time you try to rush something or to make it faster, you're trading for flavor. So if you use more yeast, you're getting less flavor. If you use less yeast, it takes longer, but you get more flavor. It's because of that amount of time that yeast builds up inside. It just creates more flavor and what have you. That's how that works. Wolfman, shitty ring. What's up, Wolfman? How you doing, bud? Of course, you two are always, welcome to join me. But yeah, it's a pain. Oh, you're sick today, Wolf. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, man. Taking a sick day today, or you got the herpes? What do you got? Well, what's making you sick, bud? Got the herpes? Oh, that's not good. Dizzy since Sunday. Wolfman, go see a doctor. Because if you've been dizzy since Sunday, that could be heart related, my friend. That could be heart related. You don't want to. Anytime you're experiencing any kind of dizziness for a prolonged period, more than like let's say a day, all right, you need to go see someone. That is a sign to get it checked out. So go fucking get it checked out, buddy. Johnny says, my son is developing a cough. Kids get into the craziest things now. That's not good. Hopefully he's not sick. Kids pick up shit so easily, though. They get sick so easily. Wolfman says, I tried. The one I went to was closed for good, waiting for Mrs. Wolf to come home. Then I'm going to another clinic. Yeah. I would almost go to urgent. Well, I don't know if it's urgent care, but I mean, if it persists, you definitely need to see someone about it. Do you have anything you can check your blood pressure with? Just so you can kind of like get that concern, see if there's anything that's causing your blood pressure to drop lower than it should be. You gotta check your blood pressure. I got a watch. You can tell me my beats per minute, you know, that kind of thing. But careful. I don't want you to have to call me on Snapchat and tell me that you're dead, Wolf. I'd be really pissed off at you. I don't know if I could ever talk to you again. You called me and told me you were dead. I'm pretty sure that would be the end of our friendship. I'll just haunt you. I bet you would, Wolf. I bet you would. Yeah, both are urgent care type facilities. Blood pressure is good. Okay, that's good. Well, it might be vascular somewhere. Let's hope for the best, though. Hope it's just some kind of bug or some like little adjustment that can be made. Phantom farts. I agree, Wolf. Yeah, so. Stretch. This Saturday, go see my doctor to get all the what do you call it? Like the x-rays and stuff I need to do for my operation. So I'm gonna do that on Saturday. Get all the stuff checklist off so that then I can contact my or they'll contact my what do you call it? The surgeon, and then, you know, get more information by then, but it should be sometime around the 23rd. I just don't know where yet. But that makes sense. I doubt they've even booked the time at the hospital. I don't know. Find out. Oh, so remember that I told you guys about being on jury duty, getting a jury duty summons. Did I tell you about that? I don't know if I told you about that. So, no, I probably didn't, actually. So last Friday, I think it was, Thursday or Friday, I got an email that said that I needed to report for jury duty on the 9th, which was, you know, this week, right? And fuck that, I don't want to do jury duty. And I couldn't do jury duty if I did want to anyway. So I was contacted my doctor, asked him to give me something, you know, obviously a notice to get out of it. They said that they had to do it in person. I'm not going to see him until the 10th, which is the day after that I'm supposed to call in, right? So, and it was too late to get at this point by Monday, yesterday, it was too late because you can't excuse out of it before 5 days that you're supposed to call in. So I literally just called the jury, the courthouse, right? I just called them. And they answered the phone after about 10 minutes of being on hold. I was surprised. They answered. And they basically, I just said to them, hey, I couldn't do this if I wanted to. That's what I said. I said I couldn't do jury duty if they call me in. I said I can't go. And I said, I'm having surgery like in 2 weeks or 2 or 3 weeks. And even if I couldn't even walk in to the courthouse before that if I wanted to because of my arthritis. Right. So she goes, okay, well, we can, postpone it for, she goes, how long do you want to postpone it for? When do you want to try again? I said, ma'am, I don't know. I don't know how long the rehabilitation is going to take. And she goes, well, you want to give it 6 months and we'll try again? I said, yeah, sure. Postpone it for 6 months. Like, okay, we'll postpone it for 6 months. Okay. Yeah. I sure hope I get that notice in 6 months. Sure hope I know. I hope I get it. Sure hope they never see this live stream. Because that would be bad. Wolfman, yes, I told you to tell them parking tickets deserve the chair. I don't even want to get in there for the selection, dude. Don't even bother selecting me. I don't want to do it. Yeah, no. Luck with that. I don't wanna. Johnny says, I just remembered the Pauly Shore movie Jury Duty. I'm sorry, Johnny. Sorry that you had to go through that trauma by remembering that movie. That is not good. That's not good. Ugh. Oh, stretch. All right, I think I got one more story for you guys. Let's see. One more nice story. 18-year-old took her college savings and bought the restaurant where she was a dishwasher. Samantha Fry, an 18-year-old from Ohio, made the bold decision to forego college and become an entrepreneur. She has been working at Rosalie's restaurant since she was 16, gradually progressing from dishwasher to line cook. When the opportunity to buy the restaurant arose, Fry trusted her instincts and used her college savings to become the new owner. Despite initial concerns from her mother, Fry's drive and ambition have earned her admiration from both regular customers and staff members at the restaurant. Fry's story challenges the notion that college is necessary for a successful future. With the decline in college enrollment due to factors like high student loan rates and pandemics, young adults are increasingly seeking alternative paths to pursue their passions and avoid debt. While efforts are being made to make college more affordable, Fry's example shows that there are multiple routes to achieve success. Trusting one's instincts and following one's dreams can lead to fulfilling and prosperous careers, regardless of whether or not college is involved. Yeah, that's an interesting story, and what have you, that she was able to buy the place that she was working at, the restaurant that she was working at. It's wonderful. Do you know what her chances of, keeping that restaurant alive is? So slim. So slim. That is one of the hardest careers is restaurants, is the food industry. The rate of a successful restaurant is like, I can't tell you, like Johnny, you know where I live in Irvine. I know, Wolfman, you don't. But you've heard me talk about it before. This place has so many restaurants. I'm not kidding. This area has so much food, so many restaurants of all different cuisines within a 5-mile radius. easily, you cannot name me a cuisine that does not exist at a restaurant within a 5 mile radius of me. I'm not shitting. That is not. I am not exaggerating whatsoever. Right? It is definitely all over the place. I can't tell you how many restaurants, good restaurants that I found that I go, oh, the food's really good here, that don't succeed, that aren't there 2 years later or a year later. I can't tell you how many. I can't tell you how many restaurants that have been in business for 10, 15 years, and then the next thing they're gone. It's a tough business. Johnny says, I know, right? Restaurant life is tough. People are so finicky. This is true. There are so many choices, so much competition. Well, yeah, it's not just that. It's just that there's so many things, like whether or not their rent gets raised or their leases run out, and they can afford a new lease, or if, the bank that carried their loan ends up having to sell it to someone else, and now, they have a higher interest. There's all sorts of things. All sorts of things, from like all sorts of things can close down a restaurant. Like one of my favorite spicy ramen shops, right, in Santa Ana, that Rachel and I and Tam used to love going to, had to close because the building that they were in got infested with rats. And even though they paid to have people come kill the rats, and they set up traps and they tried to close up all the holes, because the rats still existed in other areas of the building and other stores next to them, they could not get the health department to okay them, because the entire building had rat problem. And so they had to close down. It's stuff like that. I'm off to the doctor. Johnny says, all right. Wolfman says, all right, Wolf, take care, man. Be okay, brother. Let us know how you are. Let us know how you go. Johnny says, you can have the best food, best service, best location, true financial issues or management owner issues. So many factors needed for success. Yeah, that's absolutely correct. That's 100% correct. I've seen so many restaurants just gone. Johnny didn't think of nature rats. Yeah, I was so pissed off because their ramen was so good. It's nice and spicy, and it was delicious, and the noodles were always fresh, and they had the best tasting broth. I loved this place. Like Rachel and I would go there once a month easily. Probably. Maybe sometimes twice, but at least once a month. We loved it. And they got asked out because of rats in the building. Sucks. But yeah. So although that story is nice, that, instead of going to college, she bought this business. That's wonderful, I guess. That's but it's, it's like, okay, well, let's see. That's not exactly, a sign of success that she could save up money to buy the business. It's wonderful. Great. Good for her. She's got a chance. I got to understand. I guess she must know the business because she's been there since she was, for 2 years. She was 16. But, yeah, not exactly a done deal. She could be out on her ass within the year. Johnny, I want ramen or pho now. Dang it. I wouldn't mind some ramen or pho. Anyway, I haven't actually had a good ramen in a while. It's been a couple of months. I've just been having like the Chinese soup and the pho. But I haven't had ramen for a while. Now I want some ramen. Damn it. Now I want ramen. Now I want ramen, Johnny. I haven't had good ramen for a while. Damn you, Johnny. Damn you, sir. Anyway, all right, Johnny. Well, hey, that's it for me today. I think I'm done. I've had fun talking to you guys. It's always great hanging out with you. But I think I'm done for the day. I will be back on Thursday. 3 years since you had ramen or fucking Johnny. You're killing me. I'll be back on Thursday. And we'll do this all over again. I'll have some fun stories for you. We'll talk about a bunch of things. We'll have a good time. Anyway, guys, thanks for joining me. Thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for watching. I hope you all have a great day and a great time. We'll see you on Thursday, same time. Bye, everybody. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye.